Do we need inflation? Should we be thanking the Fed? One of the biggest mental barriers people have to replacing central banks with gold or Bitcoin is the idea that inflation is necessary. Central bankers who bribe economics professors with academic grants have been enormously successful convincing the public that inflation is actually a good thing, that our country would be poor, maybe society would even collapse, if we did not pay central bankers $250,000 salaries to siphon our life savings and hand it to governments and Wall Street. Of course, the opposite is true. Golden ages in history are deflationary. The currency gets stronger and prices go down. Because deflation happens when the stuff grows faster than the money. If your economy is producing 10% more than last year and the money has not changed, each dollar is worth 10% more. What cost $10 last year now costs $9. Deflation. Population growth makes it even better. So why have central banks been so successful beyond the bribes? Because there are two kinds of deflation. The good kind where your economy is growing, and the bad kind where the stuff didn't get any better, but the number of dollars suddenly collapsed. If there's fewer dollars, prices also go down. There's less dollars chasing stuff. The problem is, why did the money suddenly collapse? Historically, you could have some cataclysm like a war, so people stop spending and suddenly start saving a bunch. That pulls it out of circulation, but almost always the reason is because a government or central bank artificially pumped out cheap money. That money went to bozos and gamblers, and when they failed, their debts evaporated. The money effectively vanished. You may as well have set it on fire. That's what happened in 1929. It's what happened in the 1970s. It's what happens in every Fed-driven deflation. That kind of deflation is very bad, and that's the boogeyman central banks use, the kind of deflation they themselves caused. So they poison us, then they hold up the poison as the reason to poison us some more. The Fed does this because by attacking all deflation, they have their excuse to print to infinity. So what would happen if we got rid of the confetti and went to gold or Bitcoin, to some kind of hard money? That would put us back at the healthy deflation that built this country. In fact, it built the entire West. Going by the last time we had it, the Victorian era, we would get back to prosperity where your kids would make twice what you make. We'd get back to inventing things we can only imagine today. In fact, our greatest golden age, that Victorian age, invented pretty much the entire modern world. Everything from electricity to rockets to computers to telephones. Everything Elon Musk does builds on something invented in the 1870s to 1890s. And it was literally known as the long deflation. Finally, what does hard money do to the government? It means an end to the boom-bust cycle, the inflation-recession cycles that are fueled by artificial interest rates. It means the end of subsidized government borrowing, which would mean a much smaller government without the foreign wars and the trillion-dollar crony handouts. It will not happen today. Historically, paper monies do not go quietly into the night. But if we can get back to hard money, if we can get back to the deflationary world that built the prosperity all around us, we would be able to proudly hand our children a country they too can be proud of. I've got more at the newsletter, including working out the numbers going to gold and Bitcoin, so check it out. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.